to another product review video. So today I have another ft.arrtx review, which is the color pencil nude set for 126 colors. Of course, all of these are my own opinion, even though ft.arrtx did send me this new set of the pencil, and I also have a bit of color along in Johanna Basford's new book in the end of the video, so keep watching if you are interested. So I have heard of these color pencil in the past, and I think they had a smaller set of pencil before, which I really interested to try out this pencil because I believe a lot of people really like the ft.arrtx pencil, and I have heard they quite similar to the Prismacolor pencil. As you can see in the video, they are slightly smaller than the polychromo pencil, but the same size as the Prismacolor. Now, when it comes to color pencil, especially the more friendly budget brands, I don't really like to compare them with the more professional or like artist grade pencils, because I think it's quite unfair to do so. So I didn't really do a test between like this one with the polychromo or the Prismacolors, things like that. However, I really like the vibrant color of this pencil, and you can see here I did a little swatch chart because you should do when you have your new colored pencil, which I try to do with all of my art supply, but of course it's take really long time to do, since I like to do like the little rectangular shape box, and then I like to do the blended version, so I do little gradient just to see how much pigments and how much I can build up with these pencil. Now I have to say, with these budget friendly brand color pencil, they have one, to me, is a big issue, but I guess for a lot of people they probably like not an issue at all. So with this kind of brand of pencil, I think they have way too many bright colors, and they don't have enough natural tone or earthy tone colors, if you understand what I mean. I really like polychromo pencils, so when it comes to these pencil, especially the Chinese brand pencil, I think they tried it to be Prismacolor, or like Prismacolor inspires their color palette a lot. Especially when I swatch out these colors, I can tell on top, like just looking at the colors, I can tell exactly what colors these are from the Prismacolors, if that makes sense. The names are the same, the colors are the same. They don't have a lot of quite dark tone that I adore in the polychromo, so that's one big issue with me, because I like to colors in more natural tone. So I decided to swatch, do a little test, sorry, not swatching, do a little test in my own little book that I have. I like to do like little flowers or leaves, just some color combinations and some simple color palette to test out how these blend together. When I test out this one, when I swatch this one in my swatch book, honestly I was not impressed with them that much. Some of the colors is really scratchy, and some of the colors from the barrel is not the same, or like even close to the actual colors that when you colors on the paper. So I was really confused, and some of the name was really funny because I was colors, and then I was like, oh, this color look like the eggplant violet from the Prismacolor, and when I look at the name, and it's aubergine, so they just like copy the names and then they just change some of the words, if that makes sense. I thought that some of the name was pretty cute. I tend to remember the name of the colors that I use instead of like the number, because obviously you can't really remember all the numbers, that just unrealistic. But I like to remember the actual name of the colors. So the fact that it's very similar to Prismacolor, which is good in my opinion, in a way, if you're like really used to use the pencil. So when I test these out, I kind of know on the top of my head what kind of colors combination I wanted to do, and I know straight away which colors they go well together, which result in my testing that I'm doing here. Now the paper in this little book that I'm testing out the colors is a lot better than my swatch book, so I think that's why it's layering down really well. And I also only do small tests because the book that I like to colors in, especially like Johanna Basford's, Kirby Rosen, those kind of book, kind of Calzones, Maria, they all have small details, so they're not like big kind of picture. So I think if you like to colors in those books, this pencil will not be a problem at all. But when you do colors in like a bigger space, especially like when you do background, I think this will be a huge problem, because for me, with my coloring style, I like to layering a lot of layers, light layers. So a few of them's quite scratchy, and they don't really layering well together. I feel even like with 1 or 2 layer, they already had that kind of resistance when you try to colors them. So I try to sharpen them up when I colors, because sometimes with the new pencil, you kind of have to sharpen them up a bit to take off the wax. I don't know why it's happened, but sometimes that's my way of try to fix them. So just the first method that I use to fix the pencil, and I think it works for some of the color pencil, but some colors it doesn't work, if that makes sense. And for this set, I think there's way too many yellows and orange, which I don't think I will ever gonna use them all or need to use all the colors, because a lot of them are quite similar too. But then there is not enough red. There's so little red, I don't understand why. There's like, you have a few shades of red, but then that's about it. Like, you don't get cooler tone red, you don't get like the warmer tone red, you sort of get like a feel of something in the middle, and then just 1 or 2 of a very dark one. So I think they need to improve on that. They need to balance the amount of shade for like each colors, if that makes sense. For the blue, I kind of disappointed with the blue, because blues and green are my favorite colors to use in my coloring, because I like to colors nature's theme. And let me tell you, the blue are so many light blue and like reddish tone blue. There's not enough darker tone blue, not enough cool tone blue. But then with the green, there's a lot of warm green for some reason, like a warmer tone, yellowish tone green. and it's also like in the middle tone too, so there's not enough darker green in both warm and cool tone. There's not enough muted green. I think they can throw in a few of those green shade. The brown section also not that great. I think there was so many reddish tone brown, like the terracotta and the Murciana, those reddish orangey tone brown, but not enough darker brown and not enough middle tone brown. However, for the price of this pencil, which I believe is about $90, $80 Australian on the Australian Amazon, and I guess it would be a bit cheaper or more expensive, depends on where you are. I think that is pretty okay. And honestly, I think they could probably just do 120 or even 76, 78 colors. Take out a lot of the lighter one and adding in more darker colors. Also, just adding the even amount of shades for each colors would probably give you a better set of colors. But all in all, I don't hate this pencil. I'm quite impressed with them actually for these kind of budget-friendly pencil, and I would still consider these are like student quality, not really artist quality like they claim to be. Maybe it is artist quality for their range of pencil, but I believe they could do better. Honestly, I don't know what kind of life fitness these ones, so I don't think these are like professional. But if you are looking for your first set of color pencil, or you wanted to try something a little bit cheaper, if the more expensive pencil is kind of out of your range, then I think these ones are lovely. I didn't really have to press the pencil very much, and the pigments of these one are quite nice. They're not scratchy. They don't feel scratchy as much on better paper. But I think if you use these on Amazon paper or any like cheaper types of paper, you maybe see the differences, because when I swatch them out on like the cheaper types of paper, a lot of the colors are very scratchy. But then when I do in this notebook, it doesn't feel scratchy anymore. So I guess it would work better on better type paper coloring book. Another issue I have with this pencil set is I spend way too much time picking colors and putting the colors away and taking the colors out of the box. Because as I mentioned earlier, that the colors on the barrel of the pencil, it does not reflect the actual colors at all. And even though the box came with, it's a really nice sturdy box and it's so pretty. However, the way that it's set up, making it so difficult to taking the pencils out, putting the pencils away, and actually see which pencil that you wanted to take out, because they like stand up and then they all line up together. So I would recommend you put this pencil in like the pencil case that's specifically designed for color pencil. Overall, I quite enjoy using this pencil. As you can see on my test, I did in my little notebook, I did a few realistic colors looking leaves, like the gloriorism that I did on the left side here, and some caladium, the very colorful one, just to see if the green and the pink will blend together or become a bit muddy. But I think there's pencils are great. I really like the way it feels in my hand. I like the way the colors layering on top of each other. I was able to do quite a bit of layering with this one. They don't feel as scratchy as when I was swatching them out, so I guess the quality of the paper, or like how much tooth the paper has, is really important when you use these pencil. I don't know, I'm not sure. I think I need to test them out more on like cheaper types of paper, because the one that I picked to do the colors along in is actually come from Johanna Basford, and everybody knows Johanna book has very good paper to begin with already. Like I said earlier, that I don't like to compare these budget pencil brand to Prismacolor or Polychrome pencil, because they are completely on a completely different category. But I heard that a lot of you said these pencils are very similar to Prismacolor. In my opinion, they are not. They are somewhere between the harder type pencil like the Polychrome, because they keep the point better, but they are soft, but not as soft as the Prismacolor, so that they are in between. So I think if you like both Polychrome and Prismacolor, you will probably really like this one. Anyway, now let's move on to the actual text in the book. I choose the Johanna Basford's a new book, which is a small Victories, and I like this page because it's have a lot of flowers, and I also like to do a bit of background with bokeh background and blending some color just to see if I can create the natural-ish theme color combinations like I usually do in my coloring. But before I go into all the little details and telling you what my thoughts are on this pencil in the actual book when I colors, I'm very sorry for my voice. I have a sick bug at the moment, and I have a really congested noise. So I filmed this video for like a while now, and I has been sick for a while too, but I was like I'll hopefully it will get better, and then I'll do the voiceover, because I was actually quite sick when I filming the video, so I can't really speak in the video, but it doesn't get better and it's only get worse. So I was like, okay, I was just gonna do the voiceover, so hopefully that is not bothering you guys too much. I'm still trying my best to speak as clear as I can, so yeah. But overall, when I colors in this book, I love these pencils. To me, they behave so much like Polychrome pencil than Prismacolor. I don't know why certain colors, like the yellow one, I feel like they're very similar to Polychrome pencil. This is just my feel, because I really like Polychrome pencil, and I like harder type pencil. I like Prismacolor, but if Polychrome come out with like more colors, I probably would just use Polychrome pencil. Yeah, I said it. I like Polychrome pencil better. That's just my reference though. So I found that these pencil, they get a good pigment color style. As you can see when I colored in this flower, I don't, or any of the flower, the smaller detail, I don't need to do heaps of layerings or any pressures. I do decent pressure, like light to medium pressures, but not too bad, not too hard. I also included all the colors that I'm using on the screen, so you can color along with me if you want to. It's a very quick and simple page. Well, I say it quick, but I think it takes me about 3 hours. I cut out a few details because a few of the details are just repeating, and I just wanted to show you like certain flowers that I colors in, and you can just copy for the other one that's repeated. But yeah, it wasn't too bad, and I really like the colors that I picked together. So I do all the colors is kind of on the warmer side, and then the leaves and stuff I try to do a bit more natural colors. I think if you are someone that really like bright colors, this set is definitely for you. I don't have any problem picking the colors for the flower because a lot of these colors, like I said, they are very clearly inspired by the Prismacolor. So I just instinctively know which color I wanted to use. Certain color feel a bit more softer. Some is feel harder, but a lot of these I think they don't leave crumb when you colors. You know, like sometimes when you do with Prismacolors and they're very soft, they leave a lot of little crumb behind. This one doesn't do that, which I like. But the green, some of the green feel a lot softer, and I won't say scratchy, but it feels like there is more filler in the pencil. So even though these one advertised as artist quality, I do not think that there is artist quality. If you are looking to color this and sell your original piece, I have absolutely no idea if these are even live fairs. Actually, I didn't really look into it if they live fast or not. I don't think there's anything that saying they live fast, so I wouldn't use these if you gonna sell and then your pictures hanging in the room and get the sunlight on. They probably will not keep the colors. But for coloring book, these are absolutely a buy if you are looking for your first set, or you're just looking for something new to try, or you just want something cheap to try. That is this quality. With these pink flowers here, I do exactly the same as the top. Well, the top I did off camera, but I'll show you how to do these one at the bottom, and you can just copy to do the top. I also do use the ft.arrtx acrylic pen or acrylic marker that I did a review a while back for the little details, the center of the flowers and the pistils and whatnot. And you don't have to use this marker to do those details. You use whatever you have. I think any acrylic pens will work the same, but the ft.arrtx just have a quite good color collection, so I just use them in here for that extra pops of interest. I absolutely adore how these pink flowers turns out. I think they look so pretty, and the colors actually blended really well together. Oh, one thing, I didn't use the white from the ft.arrtx because I don't like the white from any other brand. I don't even use the white from the polychromate because I think that's pretty crappy, even though I love polychromate. So I only use the white from the Prismacolor, and I just use the white of the Prismacolors in here. I didn't even think I wanted to use the white because I was like, I probably won't use it. So if you are going to just get the cheaper set of color pencil, go ahead and get yourself some white Prismacolor, because I do think it's a good investment, even though I think Prismacolors are expensive in some area, but I don't think it was too bad. And I bought like 10 of the white of Prismacolor because they're so soft, they go so fast. I go through them like I'm eating candy. So I have to get a lot of them. But I really like them, and they work really well with this pencil too, the white anyway. So if you have other brand of pencils and you wanted to use together with the ft.arrtx pencil, I think they would work really well together. I don't see why they can't work together. These are probably one of the better one that I use. of the pink flowers, I do a technique where you need a fairly dark base, lighter color than the green that I'm going to use next, than the dark green, but the green that you use have to be a bit darker because I wanted to add the white markers on top. I'm using the deco art, I think that's what they call. Actually, let me have a look. Yeah, I use the Artline Decorate white pen to do the white vein of these leaves, so I can go ahead and colors around them to adding in like the white vein extra detail. This one work really well. They don't scratch off as easily as Posca pen or normal white gel pen, and you can colors on top of them. So after this, you can go on top with the white pencil and just like make it even whiter, and just fixing it a bit. If you don't have this one, you can use the white acrylic marker. If you have the ft.arrtx one and you want to use the white, you can. The reason why I didn't use the ft.arrtx is because the tip of the ft.arrtx brush is a lot bigger and these leaves are very tiny. This book, everything tiny, so I have better control with the Artline Decoration. It's a slightly smaller tip. But yeah, you can see I go in with the white, and it will just stay there. It doesn't really scratch up the paint or anything. So if you want to do this method but it like do on top with like a lighter yellow, you can do that too, or lighter green. And you don't have to like when you colors and you go around it, which I think is make so much harder than you colors at the base and then you do the white pen and it just colors around the white pen. But yeah, that's my little technique. I did a very short video before, and it seemed like a lot of you guys asked me how I do the leaves, but that's how I do the leaves. That's very simple. It's nothing fancy. I don't really have any like special technique to do them. I just found that these marker pens are very good, and I rarely use the postcard nowadays. For the rest of these leaves, I'm just using the same set of the green that I've been using. So I just pick out, depends on the leaves. If it's really small, then I just use 2 colors. If it's bigger, then I'll use 2 or 3 colors. But overall, they kind of stay in the same of the fern green, chromium oxide green, dark green, chartreuse, lamp peel, olive green. So I think that's all the green that I'm using, and I just rotating them throughout the page. So when you do like a leaves, flowers like this that have a lot of detail and have a lot of leaves, and you don't really know, you don't want to pick out 10 different greens, then you just pick out like a five different types of green. Do something a bit warmer tone and some green that is like a bit cooler tone, then you just mix match them together. I feel like that way is keep the page more cohesive together and not just like have 10 different shades of greens everywhere. And you also don't have to think like, okay, what I gonna do next for this leaf. You just kind of like, okay, I already did for this leaf, so now the next leaf I'll use the same green but just adding in one new green, and then the next leaf you can pick like one of the green from the previous leaves and one of the green from the one that you just did. If that makes sense. Does that make sense? So on here you can see I combine for example, the chromium oxide green. I do the chromium oxide green with the lamp peel. I do the chromium oxide green with the chartreuse. And then for the shadow, I just use dark green as all the shadow. If I really want to, then I would have another green in, which is the olive green, and then I'll repeat olive green with the chartreuse, olive green with the lamp peel, and then the shadow, which is dark green, or I do dark green with the olive green, or dark green with the fern green, or dark green with the chromium oxide green. So yeah, I'll just mix match them together, and I think that way I don't have to like think too much of what color I'm gonna use next, because then I already pick out all the colors. The same with the flower too, as you can see throughout the entire time that I'm doing the flowers, all the shadows colors. I use the quinacridone. I don't know how to say that word. Quinacridone violet, like so like a little bit of like a mulberry violet for the shadow. So I use it on the pink flowers, I use it on the blue flowers, I obviously use it for the purple flowers, and yeah, I'll just repeating that. I even use that on some of the leaf for the shadow as well. So when you use the same color for the shadow throughout the page, it also keep the whole thing like they belong together. They belong in one scene and not like several different atmosphere and several different scenes that you just put together. And again, you don't have to think too much. If you wanted to use a brown, like a dark brown as a shadow, then you should use the dark brown throughout the page. If you want to use a dark blue, like dark indigo for the shadow, then you should use the shadow, that same color throughout the page. Then it would make everything look really nice together. And yeah, so for the rest of these, I don't think there is much to say. Then I'll just do normally, like my normal style. I don't think like I feel like I'm sorry, I'll say like 10 times, but overall I don't feel that a fish out of the water, because that's how I usually feel when I try new art supplies, especially if it's a different medium or a different brand. I don't have a lot of art supply because of that as well. I don't want to go out and buy a whole heaps of art supply that I will never use again. So I'm glad that this pencil feel really familiar, in a sense that is feel similar to what I already used to use in my coloring already. So when I use these, I don't feel that I need to accustom my style to use them. I feel like they work really well in Johanna Basford. And for this specific book with a lot of small detail where you don't have to use layers and layers of colors, because for smaller areas, even with a bit of color, you kind of cover the entire area already and it's look really condensed. So you don't need to have a pencil that high pigment, if that makes sense. So I think it worked really well in this book for these types of small detail book. I also think it probably will work good in Lost Ocean, but anything a bit bigger you might have a bit of trouble. I'll show you what I mean when I doing the background, because I do have a bit of problem doing the background. I just wanted to talk with you guys how I come about doing these leaves. So when another thing, when you do a lot of leaves in one page, if you feel like all the leaves are very similar style and you get a bit bored with doing the same, like just gradient, dark to light and light to dark, you can add a lot of texture to these leaves. So for this one, I was like, oh, I don't want to do the same as the other one, and I just don't want to do some simple gradient either. So what I did was I added in a lot of holes, because I have a monstera at home, and there's a monstera monkey mask, I think a density, I think that's what they call. So I decided to use it as my inspiration. I added some hole. I think if you have trypophobia, is what they call, like the fear of holes, you probably figured out. But I do like to add holes and dots. That there's a lot of leaves that have those texture. Begonia, you can look it up. Yeah, so I just added in some little holes for these are fenestrations. Sorry, my nose was so blocked that I can't pronounce that word. Fenestrations. So when the plants go up, keep climbing up the tree, and it need to access all the sunlight for all the leaves underneath, it will have bigger holes as it go up so the sun can go through. So that's what I do for this one. I think they add such a fun touch for the page, and it's not just like, oh, it's so boring looking leaves that I'll do 10,000 times. Because if you like to color in nature and Johanna book, you probably colors in the same leaves over and over again. So try to look at house plants or just tropical plants. Yeah, they have a lot of really nice vibrant colors, and you can add some pattern to them, so they will look really nice together. I'm really proud of these leaves. They're so pretty. For the birds, I just wanted to do a sparrow brown looking bird, because I feel that the page is already colorful. There's a lot of colorful flowers around, there's a lot of green around already. I didn't want to do another colorful bird in the middle, because then I guess it would just blend it together with everything else. So I decided to do a more natural tone looking bird. I don't think this bird is sparrow. I don't think Johanna mean anything when she draw this bird. It was just a very illustrative style. So you can colors any colors you want. You know, I so wanted to do a blue bird because I love bluebirds. But I will just stop myself and I'll do something a bit more simple. Now, I don't exactly like how these buds come out, because I couldn't really find a middle neutral brown to do the bird. If you look at sparrow, they have a brown that is not too dark, not too red, and not too warm. But a lot of the brown that I have in the Artex set is really yellow, really warm, really red. So I decided not to gonna mix my colors, and I just wanted to see if I can mix these colors together, not like actually mix these colors to create new colors, but just mix the color to see if they go well. And they are go blend really well. I have no issue with blending. I just don't really like the tone of this color. I think it's too warm because everything else is warm already. I was hoping that this bird can be a bit more or like a neutral colors, so it look a bit more natural. But overall, it still turns out quite alright. And all these brown, I think for the brown that we have in the set, they work quite well together. I was just hoping they have a bit more variety than just kind of one tone of browns, too much warm brown. When it comes to color trees and things like that, I think it's gonna be a bit of a problem. Moving on to the actual background, I wanted to do the circle. The outer circle is lighter color combination, which is a bit more green and blue together, so it's represent the sky. And then for the center, that around the bird, I'm going to do like a green bokeh, so it look like is in the forest. So that was my idea. Now I did use the color combo before. It's not something new. I did use before with other color pencil that I have, and the light green and the light blue usually go really well together. Now I think you can't really tell on the camera because it's a bit blurry at the moment, and I don't think even if it's not blurry, you probably won't able to pick it up. But in reality, I had a bit of trouble with these color blend together, the asparagus green and the what was it? The light aqua does not want to blend together at all. But I know in fact that they should blend together. So I think just the texture of it is quite scratchy. They kind of like sliding on top of each other, and I wasn't even doing that many layering at all. I was just doing like 2 layers of the asparagus and then the light aqua on top, or the other way around. And the asparagus green did not want to behave. This did not want to cooperate with me. So I have to result in adding in a few more darker color, like the dark teal and the ocean green, which I think it turns out okay, because I was unfortunately that these darker pencil doesn't have a problem got on top of the asparagus green. I was worried that what if it's the texture of the green was so weird that it doesn't even want to take other colors on top either. So now I go back on top when I was trying to blend the green on top again of like the darker colors. I thought, well, what if it just react to the light aqua, but it react the same. So this green, unfortunately, I don't know if other people said they're better. I don't know if this set that I have was defective, but that green does not want to work with me, and it look like on the camera it's like, yeah, it's laying okay, but it does not. It does not. I was having so much trouble with this one. I was like, please do not give up on me right now, because I almost finished the page and everything's turning out so nice. So yeah, I don't know why. You can see on here that I do, it feel like I'm just sliding it around on the paper. It just not wanna stick to the paper for some reason, and it's very streaky. So I was like, oh, that's a shame, because it's a very nice green. What's fun about this set is, even though there are so many unnecessary colors and repetitive colors, like I said earlier, there are some colors that I'm really glad that they included in, like the asparagus green and the light aqua, which some of my favorite colors to use. So I'm glad they included these in. If they don't even include these ones in and just, don't have these ones, then I don't even know what to do. So yeah, but that's just a small issue. That's like one pencil, so far, that I have issue with applying in the colors. You can see here that the teal green for this part, I don't know if it's because of the paper or the pencil, that earlier the other part, the dark color was able to go on top of the green, the asparagus green, okay, but this bit, it doesn't even want to do that. So I was like, you can see that I actually add quite a bit of pressure and it still look really light. It's because it doesn't want to take these colors at all. So yeah, it was scratchy, didn't want to work with me, but the color was so nice. I think if you have the blender pencil or like blender medium, which is zesties and things like that, it should be okay. I zoom in and it's like, oh, it looks so pretty on the camera, so I feel like I'm lying. But yeah, it wasn't working for me, and I was hoping that when I tried just sharpening the pencil again, it would take off the seal or like the wax on top. Maybe it will work better, but it does not. So I don't know what's up with this pencil. Anyway, I was able to finish the entire sky color wheel without much issue, despite that green. With this one inside here, I'm trying to do some bokeh background, and I would just like estimate where I wanted the light the bokeh circle will be. So for bokeh background, if you haven't done one before, is my method included a lot of layering, like the light layering, and you wanted to do like a blurry effect, so it would have a lot of colors together, blended together. Maybe I would do another video in the future how to do other style of bokeh. You can do soft pastel and just use a eraser to erase the circle. That's very simple. It will not give as much depth as if you just do layering with pencil. But with this one, I don't think I have much issue with this, even though at the end the colors again doesn't want to layering on top anymore, so I can't really do much to smooth all the colors out. So I decided to use the burnishing, or was that a blending? I think it was a blending pencil by Derwin. Yeah, I think it was a blender by Derwin, and I use this brand of blender pencil for a really long time, and I really like how they work with both polychromo and Prismacolor, so I thought, I'll try it with this the ft.arrtx, and I think it works alright. It will show a bit later on. At the moment, I was just doing a lot of light layer. I'll do usually for bokeh, I do entire page. If it's a small area like this, I would do entire thing with just one light color, preferably like neutral color, like a neutral color. So you can see the pea green is not too warm, but it's not too cool tone either, and it's a very light green, so I like to use that as a base, and then I would go on top with a warmer tone green. Depends on where you wanted to do. I do blotches, so just different area. I don't really have a specific area that I want to do light. I just pick out a few area, and for the warmer tone in this one, I use a lamp peel. Do for a fuse area, just go around the circle and blend it on top. These green blend really nicely. I'm glad that all the green blended lovely together, because I use a lot of green in my coloring, and if they do not behave, then I would be really sad. But yeah, they did well together. Here you can see that I use the Derwent blender to blend everything out together. Now with this pencil, it doesn't really work well if your pencil doesn't have enough pigment down. So in order to use this pencil, you need to have enough pigment down on the paper already, so it can move the pigments around and blend it together. It worked really well in this case because I couldn't get it to blend any further than this point. I also add the dark brown and the pink in for the background as well. So at that point I feel like it was getting a bit muddy and it doesn't want to blend anymore, so I decided to just do a cheat way and blend. And for the ring, I was originally I wanted to do like a dark green, but then I was like, okay, that doesn't look very good, so I opted for the gold marker. Now I do have gold paints, but it's watercolors, and since I already have a bit of pencil on top already, I know the color's not gonna stick very well, so I got this set from Light Wish. Is metallic marker, and the gold in it is really nice, and it sticks well on the paper. And the tip, I like it because the tip is like a hard tip and it's pointy, so I was able to do a decent amount of colors and cover the paper quite well. But that is it for this video. I really enjoy using these pencil. You can tell that my opinion about them changed quite a bit after I actually color with them in this book. I might change my opinion again if I'm gonna do it in another book. We'll see how to go. But overall, I enjoy using them. I think the colors turns out really nice and vibrant. I didn't really have to use a lot of pressure with them, so even if you have a bit of pain in your hand, I think it will be okay. And let me know what you think about these pencil in the comment. I will include it or the link where you buying them in the description box. I don't get any commission, so you don't have to use the link, but I will just leave the link there for you. And let me know if you like more of the style of video where I review products and do a bit of coloring, like a little mini color along together. I will do more of them in the future. But I hope you have fun, and I will see you guys soon in another video. And until next time, happy coloring. Bye.